With 2018 underway, rumors are already running rampant about the possible returns in WWE. The Royal Rumble pay-per-view is coming up soon, and the 30-man Royal Rumble match is considered one of the biggest platforms for returning superstars to make their way back into the company. There are a number of stars who may return in 2018, and while some rumors may seem more credible than others, all of the returns on this list may just happen. Last year, we saw the return of Goldberg, a wrestler no one thought they would ever see back in a WWE ring after his retirement. As unlikely as it seemed, he was there and had a huge run with the company, winning the Universal title and defeating Brock Lesnar before leaving yet again. So here are the 10 wrestlers who may make a return to the ring at some point in 2018. If there is one star whose ability was not fully utilized while in WWE, it is definitely Bobby Lashley. Given a push way too soon, his deficiencies on the mic cost him his opportunity and he really just faded into the background, while other stars took over his place. However, in Impact Wrestling, Lashley truly developed as a competitor, and it can be said that there is no accomplishment that he did not achieve during his time in the company. He also plied his trade in the world of MMA and holds an impressive record of 15 wins and 2 losses. With Impact's future always blurred behind a cloud of uncertainty, and currently aged at 41, Lashley is certainly not getting any younger. Now may just be the perfect time for him to make a return to WWE. When it comes to RVD, a return is never off the table. Known for his extremely unique offense, RVD is no longer as young as he once was, but this has not decreased his ability in the ring in any way. After his last run with the company ended in 2014, Rob Van Dam would make a return to the independent circuit. Though he has not wrestled much in the interim, Van Dam is sure to have kept himself in top shape due to his compulsive fitness regimen. Given his age of 47, if he did return to WWE, it would have to be in a limited capacity, and not in the intense manner that is normally equated with him. Now seems like it would be a good time for him to return and have one last run with the company, after which he could retire from pro wrestling. Rey Mysterio is currently signed to Lucha Underground, though he has been traveling on the independent circuit as well. As the wrestler who introduced the world to the cruiserweight style of wrestling during his time in WCW, Rey was loved by all fans for his fast-paced, unique offense. His run in WWE saw him compete as the ultimate underdog, always struggling to defeat much larger opponents with his famous 619. Mysterio has even made it clear that he is open to returning to the WWE if he was allowed to compete on a part-time schedule. The addition of Rey to WWE would be perfect at the moment, as he would lend the Cruiserweight division a huge shot in the arm as the star power that they desperately need. Mysterio could easily have the last run with the company, and the fans might just hear one more booyaka if the master of the 619 were signed by the company. Tommaso Ciampa is slated for a return to wrestling in early to mid 2018. He has been forced to take time off for an injury to his anterior cruciate ligament in his knee. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa together formed an extremely talented tag team in NXT called DIY. They were together able to defeat the Revival at TakeOver Toronto and win their first NXT tag team titles. They would however lose the straps at TakeOver San Antonio to the Authors of Pain and failed to get them back at the following TakeOver in a triple threat match also involving the Revival. Finally, they got another shot at the titles in a ladder match at TakeOver Chicago, where they once again were unable to pick up the victory. After that match, Ciampa attacked and turned on Gargano in a move that broke the hearts of NXT fans. Gargano has still not been able to get over the betrayal, and lost matches against Cien Almas recently, specifically because of distractions by Zelina Vega, who was wearing a DIY shirt during the match. Ciampa is set to make a return to wrestling soon after successful surgery, and he is sure to enter a feud with Gargano immediately upon his return. Another star who has been out for a long time due to injury is Enzo Amore's former tag team partner Big Cass. Cass has just been set up for a big push by the company after he turned on his teammate. After defeating him in their feud, he was set to go on a winning run and possibly get into the title picture as well. All of that came to a crashing halt when he was injured in a street fight in August with Amore with a torn ACL. It was declared that he would be out for 9 months, but WWE are notorious for increasing the announced injury period so that it is a surprise when a star makes a quicker return to the roster. With the Royal Rumble coming up, Big Cass might just be the perfect surprise entry into the Royal Rumble this year. This year is set to see the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. The Women's Revolution in WWE changed the landscape of the women's division completely and made the quality of their matches and the programming seem completely different. No more of the 2-minute meaningless matches we would see in the PG era or the bra and panties matches that were seen in the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras, where women were nothing more than eye candy. With the advent of Charlotte, Paige, AJ Lee, and several other wrestlers, the programming changed completely, and we saw the women's division actually wrestle in main event shows and pay-per-views. Now with the Women's Royal Rumble announcement, there is sure to be a number of women from the previous eras coming back for a last run, or a single surprise appearance in a match, and no one is a better choice for that than women's wrestling legend Trish Stratus. She put on amazing matches at a time when women did not really wrestle, and she deserves some of the spotlight when things have changed in the company. Chris Jericho may have gone to New Japan Pro Wrestling to take on Kenny Omega in a once-in-a-lifetime sort of match, but Jericho is not a man who would be able to stay away from WWE for a lengthy period of time. His last run in the company saw him as a part of one of the best storylines of all time, and he said that he would be willing to come back if they had enough storylines for him. Chris Jericho will definitely not be returning anytime soon, as he's having a lot of fun in Japan, and will be on tour with Fozzy during WrestleMania, but WWE fans will more than likely see Y2J at some point in 2018. Drew McIntyre seems to be one of the hardest working men under contract in WWE. After his initial lackluster run in the company, when he was let go, he did not seem to waste a day either. He started to appear on the independent scene and wrestled all over the world. He literally conquered the independent scene, appearing for almost every promotion and winning their top belt. He changed his look, becoming more muscled and well-defined. His performances were so good that he forced WWE to re-sign him after a number of years, and he had a great run in NXT as the champion. He lost his match against Cien Almas after he failed to defend his title at TakeOver War Games. Unfortunately, during the match he tore his bicep. As a result, he was forced to take time off. According to rumors, he was slated to move up to the main roster, and after his bicep heals, he is sure to return to WWE in 2018. What remains to be seen is if he continues in NXT or makes his debut on the main roster. When it comes to The Undertaker, the rumors will never die. The dead man may be well past his prime, but there is still a chance that he will return for one last match. With the approach of WrestleMania, there has never been more rumors, because let's face it, if Undertaker doesn't appear, this will be the first WrestleMania without The Undertaker since almost forever. The Undertaker seemingly retired from his in-ring career after a loss to Roman Reigns in the main event of last year's WrestleMania, after which he laid his hat and ring gear in the middle of the ring before exiting. However, he has been seen training before SummerSlam, and there remains a chance that the dead man will have one more match before he allows himself to rest in peace. The Animal Batista is not happy with how things ended for him in the WWE, and he is willing and ready to make a comeback after his run as Blutista. He was reportedly even ready to work in a full-time schedule for his run, and this would be a huge change from the usual part-timers. Batista is unlikely to come back to the company unless they have a big push lined up for him in a storyline against a top opponent. If he does make a return to WWE, it would be amazing, as the Animal would be able to feud with all new stars such as Strowman, Reigns, and even possibly AJ Styles. He would also be able to take part in a last feud with Triple H, which would definitely make for good television. And these were 10 of the wrestlers who could return in 2018. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you later with more wrestling videos.